With the new Tales from the Pizzaplex book titled B72 being leaked, fans are talking about how the third story, Ditto phobia, solves FNAF 4, and while I do think that's true, I don't think it only solves FNAF 4, but also what stuff like Midnight Motorist, Sister Location, and Ultimate Custom Night was trying to tell us as well. In this video, I'll be talking about what I think FNAF 4 was trying to tell us all along, and how the pieces were there from the beginning. To get the summary out of the way, the story follows a kid named Rory, a kid who ran away from home, was kidnapped, and woke up in the FNAF 4 house. Due to gas being spread out through the room, he is terrorized by illusions of nightmarish-looking animatronics, until eventually he escapes and ends up in a place with concrete hallways, and gas tanks lining the walls. This turns out to be Circus Gallery. Quote, Rory could see that the 4 lights were different colors, one blue, one green, one pink, and one yellow. On an adjacent glass wall, a poster of a wild-looking girl with red pigtails had the word Celebrate printed across the top. A darkened control panel was under the glass wall with the lights. A row of upright gas tanks lined the wall to the right side of it, and a series of fans were on the wall on the other side of it. End quote. If you don't know by now, he's in a place called Sea Bear, also known as Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. He even encounters the Funtime animatronics at one point. Rory later stumbles upon a clipboard, documenting everything he's been experiencing, revealing that he's been experimented on all this time for 10 years. He then hears a man named Wade over a speaker, convincing him that nobody ever loved or cared for him, and that nobody ever even came looking for him, telling him that he was safe, and that this was his home now. It's revealed that this is all just a pre-recorded message on a cassette, in case he ever escaped again. With that, Rory turns back on the gas, and returns to the FNAF 4 bedroom, where the tape stops and begins to rewind, starting the experiment again, hence the title. This story gives us so much, and explains a lot of questions, and mysteries for FNAF 4, and Midnight Motorist specifically. We knew that the FNAF 4 house is connected to Sister Location, and is an observation testing room, due to the breaker room map in Sister Location showing us that not only is it connected to the FNAF 4 house, but Fredbear's as well. Plus the private room TV screens show the FNAF 4 bedroom on the monitors. Not only does this confirm that FNAF 4 was real, and that it was an experiment, but it sort of confirms who we play as in FNAF 4, Michael Afton. I've always had the theory that Michael Afton is who we play as in FNAF 4, due to the survival logbook, with Michael Afton sketching Nightmare Fredbear in one of the pages, and because the gameplay of FNAF 4 is so similar to the FNAF 1 gameplay, and Michael Afton is who we play as in FNAF 1. This also explains something of Midnight Motorist. I've always theorized that Midnight Motorist was trying to us something about the Afton family, because it takes place with William Afton after the death of Charlie Emily, due to the files labeling it, later that night, and because we're driving a purple car, the same car William drove when he killed Charlie. The minigame was trying to show us a few things. 1. William is probably drunk, or an abusive father, with him stopping at a place called Junior's, a common name for a bar, and showing aggressive behavior towards his son, who I believe is Michael Afton, due to an unmarked grave being within walking distance from the house, and because the window breaking, with footprints leave the house, seems like something Michael would do. We've seen his actions in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like what this was trying to show us was the relationship between Michael and William, but a few things always stumped me when making this connection. Where did Michael run after that his father would be angry? Why did Michael run away in the first place? What were those animal footprints by the house? And what would William do to his son that would make him sorry when he got back? A lot of this I would answer with basic stuff like he went to see the grave of his brother, and William would put him in the FNAF 4 room to scare him, but that didn't seem to fit well. But thanks to Fazbear Frights, and Tales being out, the pieces are clearer for us now. Let me explain. I always believe the books are trying to use new characters as parallels to old ones, like Tiger Rock being a parallel to Circus Baby, Pete and his brother from Step Closer being a parallel to Michael and the Crying Child, and Andrew being a parallel to Cassidy. So if we take that into account, then that can help us explain some things. If Rory is a parallel to Michael Afton, then that can help explain Michael's personality, and reasons for running away in the first place. explaining his actions and reasons for tormenting his brother in the first place. The reason Michael could have possibly ran away is because he either thinks his family doesn't love him, or because he feels left out in his family, always not being able to do anything the way people wanted, always either feeling made fun of or stupid, always having to feel responsible for others, and always feeling that no matter what he did, he'd always come up short. Till eventually the bite of 83 happens, and he starts to get haunted by his brother, hence the footprints outside the window. It's his brother possessing Golden Freddy, visiting the crying child's spirit at his house. In the story, Coming Home, Chica does the exact same thing with Susie, coming to her old house and taking her away to the afterlife. This could be Michael either running away, or being lured away by Golden Freddy to the gravesite, only to be later experimented on by his father in the FNAF 4 house, either by illusion discs, or by hallucinating gas, being attacked by nightmare animatronics of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Having his remnant drained and put into the scooper in sister location, so when Michael either escapes or is taken out by William, the test is always ready whenever he misbehaves. It's a torture trap, a punishment for Michael. FNAF 4 was trying to tell us two sides of a story, the story of two brothers, the bite of 83, and the memories of Michael in the FNAF 4 house being experimented on. We're playing through Michael's memories, and what the crying child faced while he was in a coma. This explains why Michael draws Nightmare Fredbear, and how he saw him in the first place. The crying child is scared of Fredbear, not Freddy and the others. He even calls his FNAF plushies his friends. He wouldn't do that if he was in the FNAF 4 house, so it has to be Michael. The reason why he draws Nightmare Fredbear, well, it's because he's being shown in his dreams of what his brother saw before the bite, and what he faced in his coma. It's a representation of what he saw last, so he has nightmares of Fredbear. It's a dream. Plus the page where Michael draws Nightmare Fredbear, is a page talking about recent dreams, so that means FNAF 4, or at least part of it was a dream. Does this sound familiar? Well, it should, because this is the exact same thing Cassidy does to William Afton in Ultimate Custom Night. In the story, the man in room 1280, the spirit Andrew, who I think is a parallel to Cassidy and Golden Freddy, torments William Afton while he's in a coma, giving him nightmares of his creations, making him face his evil past, all while tormenting him repeatedly in the process, stopping anyone from killing in the process. Basically Ultimate Custom Night. So if Cassidy is able to terrorize someone in the dreams, who's to say that the crying child can't do the same? Maybe the crying child is tormenting Michael as revenge for killing him, showing him nightmares of Michael's days being experimented on, and throwing a new nightmare for him to face in the form of Fredbear and Nightmare, until Charlie gives the crying child his happiest day, convincing him to forgive Michael, freeing all the souls, except one, leading to evil to rise again, as he always comes back, but that is for another video. Anyway, that is what I think the story was trying to tell us all along. With that, another video, and another mystery solved. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I look forward to seeing you again, in whatever my next project ends up being.